On Get Up, time for a segment we like to call What Up, Swagoo? Because Marcus Spears, you've been gone a while. We wanted to get your thoughts on some of the bigger stuff that's happened here over the past month, starting with the Dallas Cowboys. What up with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones right now?
Nothing at all, guys. The contract could be worth $1 gazillion. He'll keep us on edge until the day before the season, or he might do it a couple hours before the first game, and Micah Parsons will be in on it as well. The more and more I look back at the Dak Prescott situation leading into this season, they both were colluding to keep us talking about it on Get Up and First Take and NFL Live until the first day of the season.
Well, we love him for that, and we hope that continues for our own sake.
Yep.
Let's talk about another edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. What's going on with what up? Excuse me, with Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. I almost said what's going on.
It's weird, man. This is a weird situation, and obviously sometimes you just run out of money, Graz. I mean, when I was young, growing up, sometimes we just ran out of money, and we had to eat what we didn't want to eat or do what we didn't want to do. So when you look at Trey Hendrickson and what they did with T. Higgins and obviously Jamar, he might be the odd man out at getting some big money. Cincinnati may figure it out, but the problem is you might be running low on funds. And when funds run low, some people are disgruntled and some people are happy. I'm disgruntled right now because my funds are running low because of the stock market. Trey is disgruntled because Cincinnati is being affected by the stock market.
We're going to keep it on NFL if we can. What up with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers?
I don't know, man. It's like a game of do you like me? Yes, no, or maybe, and nobody wants to answer the question. And when you look at Aaron Rodgers and you think about how he ended last season with the New York Jets, you got to figure out if it's valuable enough for you to try to wait or you to try to figure it out. But it's a Band-Aid with the Steelers, and they may need to just leave the wound open, stitch it up, and patch it up for good by waiting, by trying to position themselves to get a quarterback of the future. I know it's slim pickings, and I know nothing is guaranteed, and I know you got a one-year vision when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, but that one-year vision is the reason why we are still here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously with Kenny Pickett not working out.
Even if it's just a one-year vision, though, Swagoo, like, is Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career worth dragging this out like they are?
No, I don't think so. Look, we all know it's a lot that comes with Aaron Rodgers beyond the football field. And if anybody wants to just focus on how good he is as a quarterback, you out your damn mind. We've seen the effects that Aaron Rodgers has on franchises. The ending of Green Bay in New York this year, and obviously going to Pittsburgh. The one caveat is Mike Tomlin is the head of the household, and there is no question about that. The relationship between him and Aaron Rodgers would be fine until Aaron feels like he is the head of the household. Mike Tomlin won't mince words. He's long in that organization, so he understands where he stands with that family and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this might be the one situation, which is why I recommended 5 months ago that this may be a place Aaron Rodgers should explore, because I don't think there's a question about who's going to be the head coach and making the decisions. This is one of those organizations. But again, him dragging it out, waiting a long time, it being worth it, I absolutely do not believe it's worth it.
You think it's worth them waiting for him at this point in his career?
Well, I'm one of them people who kind of says, look, what's your next best alternative right now? So they don't really have one. So they're kind of forced to wait because honestly, look, Mike can say whatever he wants about the fact that he's comfortable and that he knows Mason Rudolph. Yeah, I know that you know Mason Rudolph. And I know Mason Rudolph, and so do the opponents. And look, and that doesn't mean that he's not a good backup, but you're not getting to where you want to get to and where this fan base has been on your rear end over the past 4 or 5 years about getting to with Mason Rudolph. You're not going to get there. So I think with Aaron, they're forced to right now. And that's the unfortunate part, because you can hear the discomfort in Mr. Rooney's voice when he talks about this. This is not how he's used to being treated. This is not how this organization is used to players kind of stringing them along. I mean, they're sitting there going, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers, damn it. I mean, you don't sit here and just kind of hold us hostage and have us strung along here. And at some point, look, I think regardless, they have to look to the draft.
Right.
They have to still be looking regardless of whatever he does. But now That's where if I'm Omar Khan, the GM, I'm focusing all of my attention on making sure I have those quarterbacks stacked the right way.
But they're picking 21st.
Right.
And they already traded away their second-round pick for DK
Therein
Metcalf.
lies the rub, right.
So it's hard to maneuver a little bit. Do they have to force something in the first round?
Well, you know what? I mean, force is all relative, right? It's all subjective. Now, most people, consensus would say, who's going to potentially be available at 21 at quarterback, you're forcing the pick. Some people may not feel that way, like myself. Some people may feel as though a guy like Tyler Shuck is worthy of a 21st overall pick. But you know what? In all seriousness, this is why they're in a tough spot. What Aaron's doing is putting them in a tough spot. And I'll tell you what, regardless of what he does, though, I'm looking at my board and I'm thinking, what is best for my football team, not just now, but in the future? Quarterback has to be figured out for them.
Swagoo?
Yeah. I mean, look, the points that you guys are making are absolutely right. I'd rather take a flyer on a first-round pick that may not turn out to be good than take a flyer on Aaron Rodgers at this point. Because what if he does play well enough or bad enough for you to be positioned to draft a quarterback high in the coming years? That's been the question with Pittsburgh, right? We can't get anybody out of free agency. We've been in this up and down battle of trying to figure out the quarterback. So either you get a young quarterback and he plays bad and you position the draft high, or you get Aaron Rodgers and you float again, and we have this same conversation next year around the draft.
Yeah, well, again, as you mentioned earlier, Kenny Pickett, first-round pick that didn't work out. One of the reasons they're in this situation, and they keep winning 9-10 games every year, so they're in the middle of the draft.
Exactly, that purgatory, right? I mean, it's the
you
worst
have to
place
figure
to
it
be.
out at some point.
Yeah.
Much more on the NFL as we...
Kevin Nagani back with you. We're just 16 days away until night one of the NFL draft at Lambeau Field, and Mel Kiper Jr., the godfather of the NFL draft, releasing his latest mock draft 4.0. Mel continues to have Cam Ward going first overall to the Titans. The Miami Hurricane would be one of 5 quarterbacks off the board within the first 34 picks. Kiper has 3 wide receivers going in the first round, including Heisman winner and two-way threat Travis Hunter. That would be the fewest wide receivers going in the first round since 2019. That was the second of back-to-back drafts with only a pair of first-round wideouts. The rise of running backs and tight ends might be a factor here. 2 from each position slotted among the top 14 picks. Ashton Genty, the first running back off the board, at 6 to the Raiders. Kyler Warren going 10 to the Bears to help Caleb Williams. State star, that is Abdul Carter, going 3rd to the Giants. He's scheduled, by the way, to meet with the G-men on Thursday. Will Campbell will be the first offensive lineman off the board. The tackle from LSU going 4th to the Patriots. And Shedeur Sanders going 9th to the Saints in Mel's latest mock. Mel Kiper Jr. and Dan Orlovsky with us right now. Mel, you have Shedeur Sanders as your top quarterback in this draft. So why do you have him sliding down to 9th overall?
Well, it doesn't have the wow factor. I think when you look at the size, you look at the arm strength, and doesn't have the 4.6 40, it makes people pause a little bit and say, is he deserving of being a top 10 pick? I think he is. To me, Shedeur Sanders is everything the NFL wants and needs, and talk about processing, accuracy, toughness, decision-making, coming through in the clutch, being a great teammate, being a guy who eats, sleeps, and drinks football. What else can you want, Dano, when you played the position in the NFL? You're getting me a little worried. RC got me worried, and Fielding Yates got me worried about this whole thing about maybe not New Orleans. If it's not New Orleans, it could be the Ravens' enemy and their rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm here in Baltimore as a Raven fan. I don't want that, but it seems like you guys have it working out. And maybe in mock 4.5, I should have Shedeur going to the Steelers.
Oh, we'll have a 4.5. Can't wait. Keep in mind, the Steelers pick at 21. Dan, if Sanders goes to the Saints, how would that fit be with new head coach Kellen Moore?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense in some areas, Kev. Now, let me say this. You can make the case for Shedeur Sanders to the New York Giants, to the Las Vegas Raiders, and certainly the New Orleans Saints. How much say does their new head coach, Kellen Moore, have in New Orleans is my biggest question when it comes to this marriage and/or addition, because Kellen Moore has been around quarterback-wise Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts, all guys that physically have just some wow characteristics. And to Mel's point, that's not necessarily who Shedeur is. Now, Shedeur's got a lot of characteristics that make quarterbacks good players in the league. And my question is, his experience with Jalen Hurts last year and the utilization of the quarterback run, is that something that he unquestionably wants out of his quarterback? Because if so, you're not going to select Shedeur Sanders at 9 because that's not a part of his game. But if it's not, if that's something of his past and he doesn't think that he needs that, Then Shedeur to New Orleans, I can have a little bit more sense with because it does fit into the Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, just pure passer mold.
All right, let's talk about another quarterback in this potential first round. In your last mock, Mel, you had Jackson Dart going 9th to the Saints. Now you have Shedeur there. And now you have Dart going 26 to the Rams. Why the drop here for Dart all the way past Pittsburgh, who needs a quarterback at 21?
Yeah, Adam Schefter said no on Pittsburgh at 21 for Dart. He didn't say no for Shedeur Sanders. So we don't expect Shedeur to be there. If he is, it makes it very interesting. But Dart to the Rams, when you have Sean Payton, right, with Bo Nix. Made sense. He's, I'm taking him, took him. Could have dropped a little further if it wasn't for Sean Payton believing in Bo Nix. Who believes in Jackson Dart? Does Sean McVay believe in Jackson Dart to be the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford? Coming from that RPO offense, we'll need a little bit of time. Won't have to worry about playing right away with Matthew Stafford there, future Hall of Famer. So for Jackson Dart, it'll be there at 26. Tyler Shuck from Louisville could be in the equation. I had him in the early second round to Cleveland at 33. Jalen Milroe, early second round at 34 to the Giants. But Jackson Dart to the Rams, Dano and Kevin, makes sense to me.
I don't think he's going to be there at 26, and I think I see Jackson Dart a little bit differently than a lot of other people. I'd say this about the Rams connection. The Rams are right there on the precipice of catching the Eagles in the NFC. They are a bona fide, unquestioned Super Bowl contender. I don't think quarterback is the pick at 26 for them. I just believe that this team is too good to select a quarterback. I think they have a 2-year window to go win the Super Bowl. Now, Jackson Dart, I love so much about his game. Every time I watched the game, I fell more and more in love with him. The not panicking with the football. Not much is given to him in this offense. The constant threat or the challenge to throw the football downfield and downfield well. I watch his tape and I just see a top 10 pick, not a late first round pick. We'll see. But if the Rams are there, I think they go with a difference maker to go chase a Super Bowl more than a quarterback.
Dan loves Jackson Dart. He's going to break him down in the next segment. And he also loves the food at the Masters. We're going to break down something why Dan was smiling about food. Cannot wait to talk to him about.
Yo, what's going on, my good peoples? Appreciate you making it back to the channel. I am your host, S. Dot. If you made it this far, you've made it to Your Sports Moment, Your Sports Minute, where we chop it up about the world of sports. We give it to you the way you're supposed to. We definitely want you guys to go ahead and hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And most of all, make sure you leave your comments so we can go ahead and let your voice be heard on these topics, all right? All right? Let's get into it. So, what's today's topic? We got your boy Marcus Spears. Excuse me. We got your boy Marcus Spears out here trying to hold down the Dallas Cowboys. We all know why. That's your boy Swagoo, of course, out here talking about, you know, Jerry Jones is going to make Michael Parsons the highest paid player in NFL history. This may be true. I don't think so. But let's talk about it. You got Jerry out here acting like he don't know your boy Michael Parsons. You got Jerry out here trying to make contract deals with Michael Parsons without his agent. But Michael Parsons is not a stupid man. I mean, in the fact that Michael Parsons feels like he is the voice of the Cowboys and he has to speak up for the Cowboys whenever somebody attacks the Cowboys, then yes, Marcus Spears is on another level. That's a whole nother subject. But I'm not sure about this, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments, Cowboy fans. Y'all think Jerry Jones is just taking us through the ringer, giving us a lot of entertainment, as the Cowboys do year in and year out? Or do you think he really will pay Michael Parsons this fat check that Swagoo is talking about? I mean, I'm not sure how I would feel about my boss holding out on me into the last minute. I mean, let's put it in perspective. If you went in and you spoke to your manager and you said, you know, it's my time to get paid because my yearly annual has come around, I need my raise. You know, I'm looking for my raise. And your boss tells you, I'm sorry, who are you again? I mean, your boss says to you, what if your boss said to you, Yeah, we're gonna wait on that. We're gonna wait a while on that before we go ahead and make these changes and give you your annual. So go ahead and keep working. Go ahead and keep putting in work for the new year, and we'll get to it when we get to it. I don't like that. I mean, a good businessman is a businessman that takes care of his people right away. His good people right away. I mean, there's no good look for an employee to be standing around looking at everybody else that got their annual raise, but you still haven't gotten yours. So that's just a little mind baffling to me, y'all. But go ahead and leave us a comment. Tell me what y'all think about that, Cowboy fans. Y'all think Jerry is just being Jerry? You think Swagoo is right? Micah is going to be the highest paid player out there? Tell me what y'all comments. What you guys think? What you guys think? All right, so moving on to the next subject. It looks like the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson's is the odd man out, they say. So it looks like Swagoo is saying that there's no more money. There is no more money left. Swagoo is saying that the Bengals has paid all their players that they're going to pay, and Trey Hendrickson, he's left picking up the scraps. Whatever's left over, he gets. I guess that's what Swagoo's saying. It's pretty effed up if you ask me. Trey Hendrickson is a pretty good player. He got some pretty good stats. For that to be happening in an organization again, it just makes you feel like the organization doesn't care about you. It makes you feel like all the work that you've put in it's not being seen, is not being taken note of, and it makes you want to trade. It makes you want to trade. It makes you want to go elsewhere. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that one. You know what I'm saying? All right, Swagoo got us out here talking about it's a 1-year band-aid with the Steelers and Rodgers. He doesn't think he can save the fan club. I agree with him. I don't think Aaron Rodgers can save the Steelers. The way it's going, Aaron Rodgers don't want to be there. The way it's going right now, the Steelers, ever since the Big Ben era, has forgotten who they are. Ever since Big Ben has left, the Steelers has forgotten that they were once a multiple championship team. The Steelers has forgotten that they used to be one of the big contenders every year in the NFL. One of the big names in the NFL. Now, the Steelers are looking like a team that doesn't know what to do. Hands in the air. Ever since Big Ben said, I'm retiring, it looks like they just threw the book in the air and said, oh my God, what do we do now? But I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers ain't going to save him. Aaron Rodgers is not the key. You feel me? Aaron Rodgers is not the key. Not for the Steelers. No way, no how. I think they need to go ahead and they need to draft Shedeur Sanders. I think they need to stop playing with Aaron Rodgers and let Aaron Rodgers go ahead and retire. He's being a diva if you ask me. You got him out here throwing with receivers from the squad. Then you got him out here not responding to the squad. You got him you got him out here with the Vikings saying, looking like he wants to take the route that Brett Favre took. But Aaron Rodgers doing all this waiting around, not making a decision, it doesn't look like he's going to sign with the Steelers. I'm going to be real with you. Not a good look from Rodgers. Anyway, let me know how y'all feel about the subject. Give me a comment, leave your comment, let me know what y'all think of it. Y'all think it's a good thing for the Steelers to pick up Aaron Rodgers still after all this time? Or do y'all think that the Steelers, lack of a second-round pick could put pressure on Rodgers. I mean, they lost Russell Wilson. They lost Justin Fields. And they lost running back Najee Harris. They lost their cornerback Dante Jackson. And they lost their offensive tackle Dan Moore Jr. They lost a lot. The Steelers is looking pretty banged up, man. They're looking pretty banged up. So moving on to the next subject, looks like the quarterback room for the Saints is looking like it's going to be obtaining Shedeur Sanders. Looks like he's going to be selected 9th overall by the Saints. This is something that they have out there where, you know, it looks like this is going to be what it's going to be when it comes time for the draft. I think the Steelers would look good with Shedeur Sanders. I think they would look real good with Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he's a Deion Sanders kid. He was born and bred for this. He was born and bred to lead a team that needs a team to lead. I mean, Shedeur is a great player. He's going to be a great player. He's getting all this hate. He's getting all this ignorance from people who don't want to see him be great because he is a Deion. I mean, let's talk about it. Leave your comments in the section. Let me know how y'all feel about Shedeur Sanders going to the Steelers. You think it's an A+ pickup, or do you think it's a F-? Let me hear from you guys, man. Go ahead and leave a like, leave a subscribe, and don't forget to leave your comment. All right. And the last topic of today, your boy Jackson Dart looks like he's going to be selected 26th overall by the Rams. Now, this is something that's been put out here by the, by the fan trade or whatever you call it. So if Jackson Dart does go to the Rams, I think he'll help them elevate. I think he'll help them get into a position to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. But I don't like your man Dan Orlovsky out here saying these cornball comments. You know, first of all, he's throwing a lot of innuendos out there that the Rams, if they pick up Jackson Dart, they'll be able to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, don't get me wrong, the Rams is a good squad. They're a good team. They're a nicely coached squad. But to go as far as to say that the Rams are right there neck and neck with the Philadelphia Eagles to go to the Super Bowl? Come on, my boy. Come on, Dan. Stop, Dan. You gotta stop it, man. I think Dan Orlovsky, I think he just commentates just to commentate. I think he commentates these cornball allegations stating the Rams are as close to the Philadelphia Eagles are as to going back to the Super Bowl. I think he says these things so he can have an opposition so that he can stay relevant as being a reporter. I think he says these things so he can be the opposition, so he doesn't go with the crowd on what it actually is, and he can get that negative response because he knows that these responses, these things that he says, will get a reaction. You feel me? I think he knows that because he was asked the other day by Stephen A. and your boy Shannon, how is the Cowboys looking this year going to the Super Bowl or going back to the championship game? Man, your boy Dan came out and said if the quarterback Dak Prescott, if he stays healthy, if Michael Parsons gets paid, if CeeDee Lamb is able to stay healthy and make those numbers, Stephen A. couldn't stop laughing. He said, yeah, and if I was the president of the United States, he said, Dan, that is a lot of ifs. He said, man, if a lot of things happen, then yeah, things would change. But you can't go off a bunch of ifs. You got to go off the facts, man. I mean, you got to go off the facts. Dan is an if man. He's like, well, if the Cowboys can win 16 games, then they can go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, and if every team in the NFL won 16 games, they will be able to go to the Super Bowl. Jackass. I mean, that just tells you right there, man. He doesn't do any fact checking. He goes off of a bunch of ifs up here. You feel me? Let me know how y'all feel about the Rams, man. Y'all feel like they're close to the Philadelphia, to your boys, Philadelphia Eagles, as Dan is stating? Or do y'all think it's just a bunch of talk, a bunch of hogwash? Me personally, I don't think the Rams are close to us. They're a good squad, but I don't think they're close to us. All right, peoples. We appreciate y'all for making it this far. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And most of all, let your voice be heard. Please, please leave a comment. All right? Go ahead. Come back and check us out. We do post videos every day on the day. And I'm your host, S. Dot. And I'll catch y'all on the next round. Peace.